is obviously your guys' copy machine here. First thing is G5 labels our machines by a part number here. So anytime you have to call in for supplies or service requests or for matters of needing to set up a new print drive or something like that, just call and reference that number, 864-675-5755. You always get somebody on the phone 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, no phone tree. We always have somebody to answer the phone for you, okay? So we're just gonna, when you call in, then just give them that number there, and then you guys will be good to go that way, okay? As far as the machine itself, you have the top feeder here. Obviously, you guys are aware how to use a copy machine, so I'm gonna go somewhat quick with you guys here. This will just open up here. Sometimes you might have a misfeed. It could be in here as well, or this is supposed to lift up right here as well. There's also up here, if you see this little green knob here, by twisting this here, it will actually release the paper if there was something stuck up in there, okay? On the side here, obviously your paper's gonna come out here. Paper trays. Right now it's a 4 paper tray system, so the first tray is your 8.5 by 11 normal, and we can change this however you guys want to have it set, of course. 8.5 by 11 R, 14, and 11 by 17. One thing you always want to make sure when you do put the paper in there is that these guides are pushed up against the paper. If they're not pushed up against the paper, when it pulls it out of the machine, good chance it might cause a misfeed, okay? Pretty much on the side over here, this is button here. This is going to open up the side if there's a misfeed in here as well. Just by pushing these green, anything, if you see me pressing these green buttons here, anything with green really is supposed to be customer friendly, user friendly, be able to pull it out, okay? Be very careful, this can get very hot. This is the diffuser in the machine, okay? As well as you do have some releases here, 1 and 2. If there's a misfeed, you'll be able to pull them from there as well, okay? Now, do you guys ever do envelopes, labels, anything of that nature that would go through the machine?
Labels.
Okay. One key thing to make sure...
Envelopes would be nice to know.
Okay. Also make sure whenever you use labels or anything that's non-normal 8.5 by 11 or normal everyday paper, to put it in the bypass tray. So just by putting it in the bypass tray, as you can see here, make sure the guides are pushed up against it as well. If it's going to be more than a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you have these here that you need to pull out, and it'll sense it and realize what size paper is in there, okay? By doing that, you also have to do another setting. I'll show you in a minute when you get up here to the panel. That's where you would actually go and tell it what type of paper, not the size, but the type of paper that's in there. So if it's an envelope, you need to tell it's an envelope, because it will cause issues if you don't, okay? So pretty much that's it to the outside. Not a whole lot to it. Anybody have any questions on the outside? It's pretty straightforward on that part of it. You do have this here. This is just the main part here. This is the waste toner. Sometimes it will say prepare new waste toner. At that point, just give us a call and tell me you need a new waste toner. We actually do have a spare one here as well. All that is literally just the waste from the machine will get built up in there. Be careful, make sure you do empty it, because if you don't, it will go all over the machine and you start having copy quality issues. Just be careful when you do release it. If it is full, just by hitting that green button. If it is full, when you did that and you pull it out, proof all over your white shirt that you have on. Obviously, it's not something you want to have happen. These are just your toners as well. Okay. Always make sure whenever you put one in, I don't know if how you guys are going to set it up, if you have somebody that's going to be in control of it, or the supplies or that kind of stuff, or if whenever you decide to change it out, it needs to be changed out, always give them a call. So you have a spare on hand. You always want you to have a spare on hand, okay? So that's pretty much it for the outside. We'll go to the little panel here. I think I keep on messing them up on the button here. Okay, so this is a color machine, obviously, as you can tell, black and color copies. It's very simple. Let's put the paper in there, hit the start button, you're good to go. There's obviously a lot more intense stuff that you can do, of course, within that. So here's the copy button. By hitting the copy button as well, it will give you your toner life. So say you're getting ready to run a huge job and it's telling you you're at 25 to 0. You might want to make sure you have an extra toner on hand because it's going to stop working on you, okay? So then you also have the scan to fax function, which in this case you guys don't fax, you just have the scan set up. Those are the ones that we put in there right now. If you had more that you wanted to have put in there, eventually we showed Moses as well as John how to do it, so they can put those in there for you. So it's really as simple as just hitting the name that you want to send it to. I'm assuming this is everybody in your group. Hit the name, and then hit condition settings, and then you can hit send settings, and you can actually label the email, which is a nice feature. So you sending 3 or 4 different emails at one time, you don't have to open up every individual one to see which one it is. You just type the subject in and go that route, okay? Same thing as well if you're sending yourself a file. That way you could just save it as a PDF and just have the name of it. This machine also does have the functionality. Do you guys use like USB thumb drives, like PDF files, stuff like that, or the option of being able to scan documents to a thumb drive? That's an option you do have. You just literally put the thumb drive in right there, hit hit the document filing button, scan to hard drive, where you can actually scan the documents itself to the hard drive of the machine if that's something you choose to do, or to the thumb drive as well. To pull access from the thumb drive, you have it in there as a PDF file, not as a Microsoft Word. It has to be a PDF or something like that. Hit the external data disk, and then it would actually see it in there. And then you just pull the file into the print button, okay? So we'll go back to the copy side of it for a moment there. There is a few different settings here you can do. There's the exposure change setting. So say you have a document that's very light copied, obviously you want to darken it up, the exposure. You're going to darken it or lighten it up or whatever it may be. To do that, you do, if it was a photo, you'd hit photo. If it was a text document, hit text, and then fill itself out that way. The machine is set for auto, so it should kind of determine what it needs to do. Sometimes you do need to tell it though, okay? As well as you have the two-sided button. Obviously one-sided, two-sided, 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 touch and so on, just like that. The machine will actually, if you have one-sided document here, this document feeder here will actually pull the paper, the one piece of paper, and that's two-sided, and flip it and then bring itself back out. You do have what we call specialty modes, and we'll give you a little paper to actually go over all the specialty modes with you guys. There's a lot in there. I'm not going to bore you guys with all that information at this time. There's a few in there that are kind of cool. There's a card shop mode. Do you guys ever take driver's license, stuff like that? I don't know for the closings, if that's something you guys ever need. If that is something you need, just put the right up here, hit the card shot, and you can actually do it to fit the page, and it'll actually blow it up to make it the full size of the page, if that's something you wanted to do. There's a lot of information in there, and I don't want to give you so much information you're going to not really listen. So we'll give you that information there for you. As well as you can, and I forgot to tell you, under the scanned effect settings, do you guys ever scan two-sided documents to yourself? Is that pretty common? You would actually pick your name, hit condition settings, and you can tell the machine somewhere. You can actually tell it. Can't find it. The original. It's a two-sided booklet, so it actually would then scan itself as a two-sided document to you instead of having to put it in and send it twice. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the machine. Do you guys have any real questions? I know it was always one of those things after we leave, somebody's like, just give us our help desk a call. We do have 4 associates that actually are in our help desk department that will sit back there and answer any questions that you may have, okay? It is a new machine, so obviously we moved it from our office, so it's been on the road traveling. You might have a service call right away. Don't be alarmed if that's the case. It is possible. If not, awesome, but don't be alarmed if that is the case, okay? You guys should be good to go. We'll get you guys all printed up shortly.
I was going to say, do you want to hang out for the next couple weeks?
We'll be available at that number. Definitely give us a call. One thing we do focus on is 90 minutes or less response time. So if you guys call in, typically our service team should get you within 90 minutes or less. Not to say that's always the case, but we do strive for that. So, and one thing, if you guys are all new to G5, you might not know about our ice cream truck. Anybody familiar? I know you're probably familiar. No, Dan.
One day?
It did come by, but we all weren't here.
We weren't here.
Once a year, they'll come out with your sales rep and you have an ice cream truck that will deliver ice cream, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't get this belly from not eating it, so
That's very cool.
Good deal. All right, folks.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.